I trained the handstand for the past 7 days, and these are my 3 biggest takeaways and a rough outline on what to do by the end of the video. Number 1, always warm up. You guys ever play with like an old cold rubber band that's just been like sitting in the drawer for a while? You know, as soon as you like try and stretch it or like try to go for like a rubber band gun, like it just snaps and breaks, right? That's exactly what it's like to train the handstand without warming up. Warming up is absolutely necessary for training the handstand. I mean, you should be warming up in general whenever you're working out, but the handstand in particular, I feel needs a warm up more than any other exercise. It's mainly because you're trying to balance your entire body on your hands, and it's a pretty hard task if you really think about it. So what should you warm up in particular? Obviously, your wrists are probably the most important part that you should warm up. You don't want to snap like the rubber band, you know? You really need to warm up your wrists. The shoulders and the torso in general, you should also warm up just because that's what your arms are connected to. And also your fingers, as weird as that sounds, you should warm up your fingers. Basically your entire body, but more specifically, you should definitely warm up your shoulders and your wrists. You don't want those to break or snap, or you don't want to hurt yourself, is what I'm trying to say. Specific warm-ups I would do, I like to do these wrist rolls where you kind of like doing the CM Punk. I also really like the arm circles and like the windmills. I think those are really good stretches and I would highly recommend them. I would say probably take 5 to 10 minutes just warming up, getting ready the body, getting ready the upper body especially. And yeah, after you're done warming up, you're ready to go for the actual practice. This brings me on to the second thing I learned, which is staying consistent. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you think Steph Curry plays basketball 2 to 3 times a week? No, this guy is playing that ball daily, on a daily basis. He is touching that ball. Just like basketball, the handstand is a skill-based exercise. That means you should consistently be working on it without it feeling super fatiguing. You shouldn't train it like it's a muscle group. Like you shouldn't be doing it 2 to 3 times a week for an hour and then giving yourself a few days to rest and recover. You should kind of just do it on a consistent basis. I took 10 to 15 minutes out of every single day to just focus and work on this handstand. It didn't take that much out of me, and I probably could have gone for longer sessions if I really wanted to. But at the end of the day, I wasn't training the handstand to get myself really fatigued and really tired. It's more so just to practice some little movements here and there. You guys know the idea that less is more? That's a lie, more is more. The more you practice the handstand, the more you improve. Well, you should still focus on quality over quantity, but you know what I mean. Instead of focusing on trying to perfect the handstand in 2 days out of the week, try to focus on getting better at the handstand 6 to 7 days out of the week. In terms of skills that you should be consistently practicing, you could be practicing the overall balance of the movement. You could also be practicing like the handstand push-up, the kick-ups, core alignment, and then some regressions and progressions to eventually get and unlock the handstand and the handstand push-up. So yes, stay consistent. And finally, the third skill that I learned on this week, listening to your body and learning to adapt. You know Bruce Lee, how he was like, oh, be water. Because water is wet and it can go through many things and it can be other things while still being water.
I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
That's what you gotta be, man. You have to be water. You see, adapting is extremely important because there are some skills that you're going to progress faster at than others. You know, like you could probably get the balance right, but then you probably don't have the strength to do a handstand push-up. Or maybe your core isn't straight enough, but your fingers are still strong enough to carry you. You know, like you have the strength to carry yourself. It's just your core is doing this. What I'm saying is it's important to adapt to how your body is feeling. You get what I'm trying to say? It's all about like learning to adapt, you know? You're not trying to practice so you can perfect it. You're literally practicing to just get better every day. So don't worry and focus on trying to exhaust yourself and needing to do certain exercises on certain days, but rather taking every day at a time and assessing where you are in your handstand journey and what you want to work on and seeing if your body is up for that work for that day. Yeah, learning to adapt. It's an extremely useful skill. Anyways, that's what I learned. Take 10 to 15 minutes out of your day to practice the handstand and the handstand push-up. Warm up for about 5 minutes. Choose what to practice, but learn to adapt and be like water. But if you really do want a real handstand and handstand push-up tutorial, I'm gonna leave a video that I watched on Instagram. This is kind of the video that inspired this video. At the end of the day, you have free will. You can listen to me. You don't have to listen to me. But for a person who's been doing this for the past 7 days, these are the 3 things I learned. Be like water.